Hey everybody, welcome to the World of DVC Show, episode number 40. I'm Derek.
I'm Carrie.
I'm Marissa.
And we've got a great show planned for you because basically you guys wrote this show. Mm-hmm. We're going to share all of your fantastic reasons that you sent us about what finally made you become a Disney Vacation Club member. I love it. Yeah. I can't believe 40 shows. This is episode number 40.
Crazy.
Do you even remember episode number 1?
I do, actually. You know why? Because I'm wearing the exact same outfit as I wore in episode 1. I know.
Which is funny because, so this is the episode we planned our outfits. Derek sent this, and I saw the red in it, and I almost wore my red dress from episode number 1.
That would have been hysterical.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm going to have to go see if I have my clothes from episode number 1.
Oh, okay.
And see if they still fit.
Okay.
I got to go.
Like now?
Ladies and gentlemen, you are now entering the world of DVC, the ultimate DVC destination where magical vacations meet incredible value through exceptional service. Put in your headphones, turn the volume up, sit back, relax, and step into the world of DVC.
Just wish on a star. Enter the world of DVC.
I don't know where I am.
Are we on? Is this thing on, Derek?
Is this thing on?
The show?
I think it's on. We are in a brand new studio for the first time ever. So it's unbelievable.
Our backdrop looks similar, but
does.
see if you can notice the changes, because there are some similar, small little subtle changes.
Oh, we should have played a game with that.
We should have, that's fine.
Yeah.
Find the changes.
Like find the changes and
in a circle them. Yeah, circle the
this
changes.
This is the first time that I've ever seen it. This is the first time that Carrie's ever seen it. First time that Jeff has ever seen it.
Yep.
But I want to give a special shout out to this lady right over here who did an amazing job, because when we realized that we're not going to be able to use our old studio, we were like, where are we going to go? Like on the street?
The parking lot?
Where are we going to film and whatnot? Marissa, as always, says,
work anywhere.
I got it. Don't worry. I got it. And showing up today, you nailed it. So thank you.
you.
You did a great job.
Glad to have y'all in here.
Great
nice.
job.
It's cozier. The audience can't see, but it's a smaller room. It's very cozy.
Yeah.
And I personally like it.
I like
Not
it.
that I didn't like the other studio. I love the other studio too, but this feels just very cozy. I like it.
Good.
And something about it made us coordinate our outfits today. Shocking enough. When I said, just so you know, I'm wearing a new Villains shirt for this month's show, and Marissa's like, well, what does it look like? So I sent her a picture of it, and I think her first words were, yikes.
Yeah.
But she was able to find something that matched perfectly, and Carrie was too, so I don't think that's ever happened in the history of the show.
It's funny, I had a leopard dress in my hand. Like, I was like, maybe I'll, in the spirit of
And I had like nautical, stripes.
In the spirit of
golden
fall.
stripes.
Okay, so nautical, leopard in the spirit of fall. And then I was like, that's gonna clash for those of you who watch this. We don't want to hurt your eyes, so we decided to do a little bit more.
Well, here's
than
the thing. Let's go on a little backstory here, and not to go off on a tangent, but Derek didn't usually wear these outrageous shirts until 6 months ago, and so it was all about me and Carrie looking
coordinated.
We weren't worried about what Derek would wear, and as long as Carrie and I match, and Carrie and I have this written ideas in our head, and we
telepathy.
Show up,
we don't.
And besides maybe one episode, we've always matched very well, and that we do not talk about. We just show up and we match.
It's true.
But then Derek started wearing these shirts.
Yep.
And then we had to be like, oh, let's tone it down. So then one episode, I can't even remember which one, maybe 38, we toned it way down, and Derek shows up in a normal shirt.
That's right. And
today
we're boring.
Yes. Today we're going to be in stripes and cheetah print alongside of this. So thank goodness we actually talked about
One of my
outfits.
favorite episodes, though, was when I was already in the office. Marissa walks in, and we're both in jeans, a shirt, and a blue blazer.
Yep.
That was one of my favorite. We dressed identical and didn't plan it at all. So, that's what happens when you work together long enough. You start to...
So if you haven't watched all of our previous episodes, this is your cue to go and watch them all.
And one day we're going to get the hang of it. This is only episode 40.
40,
right?
we're 40 today.
It comes out once a month.
My
This is
God.
episode 40, and we're finally dressing like we should.
Yes.
So.
Get out the moisturizer. World of DVC Show is 40.
So
Crazy.
Hey, you're 40, right?
Sort of, yeah.
Welcome, everybody, to
Yes.
episode 40 of the World of DVC Show. We are thrilled to have you here in our brand new offices, and we're thrilled to have Jeff back, who was out working the Olympics in France. So he did a fantastic job, and we laughed with him today and said, Jeff, wrap up that stuff with all the gold medalists, because you got a timeshare show to come and film.
That's right. Simone Biles, excellent job. We're super proud of you. But Jeff, back to work. Yeah, back to work. Enough filming Celine Dion's beautiful opening ceremony, but let's get back to focusing here with us, Jeff, okay? Yeah, he's back.
So this is going to be fun. This is a great show that was all came about from last month's show, which last month's show was so great.
And I wasn't part of it. And I will tell you, so I got to like really experience that show from an audience perspective. It's maybe my favorite show of all times. I mean, goosebumps throughout. And it's just like, it's such a good reason of why we do what we do. So if you haven't watched episode 39, before you even watch this episode, go back and watch that one, because that's what kind of sparked the inspiration for this one.
And my hat's off to Owen. Derek's son. Well, you can't just, whatever. No, Owen was wonderful. And it got me thinking a lot back of being a freshman in college and being that age and whatnot. I thought, I've always been a pretty poised, put together person. I have to say, Owen, just poised, put together, respectful, adores you and Annie, his family, like understands what's important in life at that age. And I just...
Now you're going to make me cry, because tomorrow I have to drive him back to Florida State. So we leave tomorrow to have him go back for his
But you should be so proud of him, and I know that you are. But that episode too, Marissa, I mean, I sat in and just sort of watched this moment between father and son that was just so heartwarming. But with DVC at the core of it was just so special, because it's so special to all of us.
Well, that's what I think made it so special is, the stuff with Owen was great. And again, if you haven't seen it, it's basically, what's it like growing up as a member of Disney Vacation Club.
As a kid,
the biggest reason that I think, no offense, Owen, that episode was so special is because we asked each and every one of you to let us know in the comments, right? Let us know in the comments what finally pushed you over the edge to become a Disney Vacation Club member. What was it? Tell us about your experiences. And that's when reading them and they started flooding in, and I would text these guys and say, have you read these comments? Like goosebumps again. Like, these are fantastic. So that's when we kind of came up with the idea for this show, episode 40. We thought would be great, Marissa, just like you said, being able to share with people,
And what's so, like, even through all of those, as we're looking to always innovate, right? And looking at, like, what can we provide more to our community? And even reading all of those, I talked to, like, our marketing team and our web development team, and I said, can we create a whole page on the DVC Resale Market website dedicated to these comments, right? And these reasons why people join. And so we're actually working to create, like, that whole kind of memories page because of all of you and your comments. We want to be able to share that with others, because if you're looking into Disney Vacation Club for the first time and working directly for Disney, right? If I had this tool to give to members who were coming in, if you're staying at Pop Century or Port Orleans and you're coming in to learn about Disney Vacation Club, if I could give you this book or website to just see what other people have to say, not what I have to say.
Exactly.
That, I think, is the most powerful reason to join the membership.
Well, and I think, too, it goes back to, I'll take it back to Walt Disney for just a minute, and the storytelling that the Disney company's built on storytelling. And so when we sit here and tell our story once a month, usually about what we've done or what we've done with family or whatnot, but to hear the stories of you as members, Owen's story growing up, and hear other people's stories of the why behind becoming a Disney Vacation Club member, why the home resort choice, why the point usage or whatever all those things that you make those decisions in, it just lends to like that legend of Walt Disney and the tradition of storytelling. And you have a stack here.
A storybook.
Because that's what we wanted to do today. So the bulk of the show today is literally going to be almost like story time, I think you called it. Story time. It's a testimonial, and the show is built by you all because we have your amazing stories about why and how you became a Disney Vacation Club member that we're just going to take turns reading. So we promise you that
Get out your Kleenex.
If you've joined as a family and you need kind of that little like Disney spark, this is a great opportunity to sit around and listen to other people's stories. Or if you're brand new looking into Disney Vacation Club, this is the episode to just take a few minutes and listen and hear why other people, what was that tipping point of
Yeah.
joining Disney Vacation Club?
And you had someone just yesterday.
I did. I was just going to say that I had a wonderful member who said I was kind of confused and not really sold, if you will, on DVC. And then I watched episode 39 and she said, I'm still confused, so I'm talking to you, but I'm more sold now because now I understand kind of the heart of it.
Yeah.
So explain to me the logistics and how it makes sense financially, and then we'll go from there. Well, she ended up putting in an offer and it was agreed upon, and now we're under contract with her. And so it goes to that, it starts with the heart, that kind of, does it make sense to my kids that we go there often? And then it makes sense financially for so many reasons that we've talked about.
Yeah.
Owen did such a great job talking about break even, by the way. I loved I think one of the comments somebody said, Carrie and Derek's face when Owen explained break even was the best because it was like
Off the cuff.
wow, Owen, it was, so it does make sense when you have that break even conversation and whatnot. And so now she's kind of, on that journey. And I always say to any of the members, soon-to-be members that I talk to, it's definitely a marathon. It's not a sprint. It'll take time.
Right.
So if you're just kind of peeking, looking now and going, I don't know, I'll give a listen to this episode and listen to I'm not quite sure just yet. I'm still really confused. That's where we come in to help you through the journey. It's not a one and done.
Yeah.
No.
It's definitely a marathon, and it can take time. And then once you're done and you have your points and you've gone on your first DVC experience vacation, that's when add-on-itis kicks in.
And that's what I love about these stories too, is that some of you out there listening or driving or doing however you listen or watch the show, some of you guys are going to be the numbers folks, or you're going to hear some stories about, man, the numbers made so much sense. Other of you guys are the, emotionals, I think you call them, what? Expressive people that are going to hear the story of the pixie dust and the this and the heartfelt stuff. That made you join. So regardless of whatever your reason is, whether it's financial or whether it's emotional, these stories that you guys were so kind enough to share with us last month helped shape this whole entire show today.
Yeah,
So from your
Thank
Excel
you.
sheets to
So
your
thank you.
tissue boxes, this show will have it all, right?
Absolutely.
Yes.
So with that, before we kind of delve into it, I have to address why I chose to wear my brand new Mickey's villain
I like
shirt.
it.
It's because I know y'all know that
Yeah.
D23 happened, and we're not going to go into a huge, because we can
no.
talk for hours and
Yeah.
hours and hours.
Well, and just a soft plug, you
yeah.
can go see Derek on DVC Fan, and they did a
Yeah.
whole episode where they
Yeah,
broke
we did.
down. So
Right.
if you want to kind of go into that hour-long, 30-minute-long show of
Oh
kind of...
no, it's 2 hours.
Is it true?
It was a live 2-hour show that we
it
did the
is.
day
I didn't realize
after
that. Did
DB3.
you publish the full 2 hours?
Uh-huh.
Okay, great.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
if you would like 2 hours of
2
Derek...
weeks, 2 days, 2 hours, 2 minutes of all DVC.
So yeah, but that's where we
23.
really break down like each park and whatnot. But I just think overall, my main takeaway was, regardless of whether you're going to miss this or whether you're going to miss that, it's the fact that they announced so much great news. You know what I mean? It's stuff. They didn't have to announce all this great stuff. So for me, personally, I think what they're going to do to the Magic Kingdom is probably most exciting. So I know we're going to have some fans of Tom Sawyer Island and
There's a
fans
lot of
of
change coming.
Rivers of America,
Yeah.
but change
And fans of Cars.
is good. And fans
Yeah,
of
I
Cars. So
I
again,
know. Well, I watched it live, and I was the night that it was happening. It was a Saturday night, and I work pretty early on Sunday, so I was kind of calling it a night. But I have to say, well, first of all, John Stamos is going to pique my interest right there, because there you go. And the ambassadors were there at the announcement too, which is also going to pique my interest. But then when Josh D'Amaro said the dirt is moving, the sketches are drawn,
There's no blue skies.
There's no blue sky. These are projects that are in the works. I was like, oh, hold on. I'm up for the duration. I'm here, because this isn't just blue sky. We think we might, we plan to. These are things that are in the works right now. So that was super exciting. Yeah.
and I've had so many folks tell me that recently joined with us, over the last week or so, and when the news came out, they're like, Derek, we're so excited because now we're members.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
we're members now. So we're going back.
We're coming back.
So we can't wait. So we don't care if Cars Lands opens up in 3 years or 5 years.
Yeah.
Right.
We're
Our
getting
membership
our
goes to 2070, so we're
absolutely.
Our
covered.
membership is coming, so
Yeah.
that's what's great. So it's a very exciting time to be a Disney Vacation Club member.
What was the most kind of, I guess, surprising for me was the Disney Cruise Line announcement.
Yes.
I mean, we've already had so many new ships, right?
Did not see that coming.
The Destiny is any day now going to come available to actually book. It starts on September 9th, and the itineraries come out any day now. So if you're looking to book a cruise,
know.
soft plug for Be Our Guest Vacations, or if you're a DVC member, you can swap your points and save about 65% in doing that with DVC Rental Store. But if you're thinking about cruising or you like cruising, 4 new ships in addition to the 3 that just came out.
I know. When he showed the slide and it was like, it just kept going, the fan of ships, it was like, oh my gosh, it definitely was an experience.
Yeah.
To see
I think
that.
my question is, where are they all going? Where are they going to
All
go?
kinds of itineraries.
I don't know.
And 3 nights to 14 nights.
Where are they going to be poured
to-
out of?
I don't know.
That's what's crazy.
Just put me on a Disney cruise ship. I don't care if we dock at Port Canaveral. I
It's
just love
been
the
too long.
experience.
It's been too long for you too, right?
I have not been on a ship since 2016.
Wow.
I have not.
Almost 10 years.
2017 was my last time.
2017,
Yeah, 2017.
Well, no, yeah, I've officially January.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Well,
basically.
maybe we need to do our 41st show. That's
41st. Harry yells at 45th,
Next
and you're like, 41st?
next month. Yeah.
So with that, there's also some super exciting stuff at the World of DVC.
Well, there's just, like to your point,
Yeah.
whether it's Disney Universal just launched their last land, and with like the new Villains Land as well as all the Harry Potter land information. To your point, I think all excitement when it comes to the world of theme parks and here in Orlando is always good momentum, because it just means that there's going to be so many new exciting things, and for you as our DVC members, you're coming back. So every trip to know that there's something different is super fun. So what we decided for this month's giveaway is we are going to give away, again, we're going to go back to that $100 Disney gift card, but here's what we want to know. Leave in the comments, what are you most looking forward to with all of these announcements? Is it a new Disney ship? Is it the new lands at Magic Kingdom? Is it something with Universal? Put it in the comments. And we would love to kind of read these and see what are you looking, right? Our audience, our guests, what is most exciting for you, and we'll pick one lucky winner, and then make sure you email us info@worldofdvc.com, and one of you will win that gift card.
$100 Disney gift card.
$100
You
merchandise
got
shop,
lots
pool
of
bar,
places you could buy yourself a
villain shirt. What are you most looking forward to, Marissa? Is it the cruise line?
Yeah, well, I'm excited about Cars Land.
Oh, yeah,
Cars.
yeah.
We've phased out of that.
Okay. Really?
Yeah, I mean, he's like now wearing. My son is now wearing like baseball shirts and like big chains. Like all of a sudden, he went from 7 to 17 in overnight. However, Cars was part of our life.
Yes.
Like every
will
single day,
always
every
be,
single
yeah.
moment for like 5 years.
Right. Oh, sorry,
and
Karen.
I got to like. I mean, I've never been so invested in a Disney movie and the characters.
Right.
Like I knew every backstory of every character and where they came from. So I think maybe more for me than anyone else in my family.
Yeah.
But it's like that full circle moment. And then I think when he's going to be old enough to not be too cool, we can go and kind of have that experience.
Have that nostalgia back.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
What about you? What are you looking forward to with D23?
I'm torn because one of the announcements happened before, which of course is the Polynesian Tower. So
Yes.
I think that looks better and better every day I look at it. I think it's just going to be absolutely fantastic. So
Yeah.
I'm super excited.
I'll rent you my points to get that 11-month
I
priority.
was just going to
might
say,
need it.
because I don't even have any more
You
points.
need to get Polynesian points.
I have to wait till October 1st of this year so I could borrow
Your 2020.
my 2025 points. So I
right.
have to wait till October 1st. So anybody trying to get on the member website on October the 1st, you ain't getting on, because I'm going to be booking all my 1 and 2 night stays at Vero Beach and Polynesian. Everything else. But I think overall, I was shocked about Cars Land because I didn't see that coming.
No.
Everybody had heard about Villains Land and all of that. But for me, I think it was the Monsters Inc. Land.
Yeah.
So I
And
think
that coaster looks so great.
Almost
The
like
coaster
overdue,
coming
I
there.
feel like.
I love
I
the
feel like it's
coaster.
overdue.
Yeah.
I didn't see that coming at all. So that's what made this super
cute.
exciting.
Yeah.
So yes, that will take hopefully my least favorite theme park, which is the Hollywood Studios.
Yeah.
And I will wind up liking it a
Upgrade that a little bit.
more.
Yeah,
What
I have
about
to
you,
agree.
Carrie?
I have to say, I'm going to switch it up a little bit and go out to Disneyland, because to have the first audio animatronic of Walt Disney, I cried.
Oh, that's right.
I did. I totally cried.
You would choose that. You
Right,
are
I
such
would.
a classic
I'm such a
girl.
traditionalist when it comes to Disney.
It's in her ambassador clause.
I know,
Exactly.
It is. It's on the signature that I signed. But like I had a moment where I too was excited for Monsters Inc.
Yeah.
I shrieked with the cruise line as well. My heart did get a little tug with Cars Land, only because I thought, oh, that means something over there is going to go away. And I love Rivers of America and that whole Tom Sawyer Island. I am very much a Disney traditionalist, but I also know that Walt Disney prided himself too on change and innovation, and we have to keep moving forward. And so while my little heart gets broken on that, I do look at, you know, kind of the whole Disneyland experience and think about that as well, you know, out there. But so I have to say, like, if I have to pick Disneyland, the Walt Audio animatronic, here I too am very excited about Monsters, because I remember seeing that movie and thinking when they go through all the doors, it was like, this would be an amazing attraction. And I feel like Monsters Inc. came out 20 years ago.
Yeah.
I think so.
Overdue. So super excited about that. And then of course the cruise line.
Yeah.
I mean, you just can't.
Yeah.
I just don't think you can get better than a Disney Cruise Line vacation.
I don't either.
love it. Absolutely love it.
It's a great time to be a member.
It really is. And we saw a lot of posts too on Facebook of people saying, oh gosh, now I need more points because now there's so much coming. We're going to want to come more often. We're going to come for the opening of this. We want to come for the last time we can see that, you know, and so it is true. I mean, it's, you know, that add-on-itis will get you. Yeah. That was
Which is the perfect segue, which I don't even think Carrie even planned it that way, but it must be all the blue.
We're just that good.
Is it blue or purple? Because I'm colorblind, so I don't
blue.
even.
Oh, you are. That's right. It's blue.
This is, we were outfit planning for Derek. And I said, can you wear your red and striped white shirt? And he's like, I wouldn't be able to tell you which one that was.
I forgot that you are colorblind.
Let me text Annie.
Oh.
And I took my phone into my closet and I took a picture. I said, "You mean this one?" And you're like, "Yes, Derek, that's the one I mean."
Oh my gosh.
So yes,
so
if
segue
anyone
away.
out there is thinking of maybe, you know, joining Disney Vacation Club or maybe adding a little magic to your membership, it's
a great time
coming up on September the 1st is when things are going to get super magical.
Yeah.
That's a trademark phrase, super magical, because that is when it's the return of double and even in some cases, triple points. So what that means, come September 1st, you're going to have some listings that are going to have the seller banked those points from 2024 or maybe, in the rare case, of 2023 on top of it.
Right.
And as a buyer, you don't pay any dues on those 2024 or 2023 points, which in some cases literally is saving you thousands of dollars.
Yeah. Right.
So what that allows you to do, which I love when these things happen, because it gives members, even new members, the chance to live off more points than what they actually bought.
Yeah.
Right? So if I bought like a 200-point membership, I get 200 points every year. Oh, wait a second. No, I don't. The first year I get 400. So I'm going to use the banked points first and maybe even bank some of my 2024 into 2025. So it's starting September 1st. So be sure to head over to dvcresalemarket.com. You can go to listings, go to status, and you can click on where it says double points or even triple points.
Yeah.
And make sure you sign up for our daily email notifier, because with that, we will email you every day at 9 a.m. You'll get a list of all of the new listings that come in and all the special status ones, like double and triple points. Which is funny, to your point, I've told this story before, but my aunt was a DVC member long before we ever even went to Walt Disney World. But my first trip to Walt Disney World was thanks to her, because she became a member.
Yeah.
But she had double points. And that's, again, she kind of lived off of, let's do a whole different type of vacation that we would normally do and bring everyone with. So those are those moments where it seems small to say, like, sure, you know, we'll get a little savings and get some extra points. But, like, in most scenarios, you're saving a couple $1,000s.
Yeah.
Plus, you can do something really special.
Really cool.
So if you've got those family reunions or special things in the works, this is the perfect contract.
So that's such a good
Don't
point.
start your membership with like a grand villa for like a week, because then it only goes downhill from that point on.
Well, also, if you are listening to all the news, right? Whether it's you're excited about all the new things happening with Epic Universe and you're planning 2025, or in the next couple years, we're going to be doing a lot more trips. If you're not a DVC member, make sure to head over to dvcrentalstore.com. Or if you are and you're saying, hey, let's add one more vacation. We know so many of you too have friends and family coming with. So if they're wanting to stay in those deluxe accommodations, this is the best way. Not all of my family are DVC members. So when they come, we use our points for us as much as we can. And then we have our family rent out points so that we can all stay in the same place. But right now they do have their $19 per point special going on. And so what that equals out to, if you're looking compared to direct to Disney prices, you're saving up to 75%. So that's wild. When you start to run those numbers, you're staying at the Polynesian.
Right.
You're staying at Saratoga Springs. You're staying at Old Key West for the cost of Pop Century or Riverside, right? So it's like, why not?
And it's such a seamless process too, because people will ask, probably a very common question is, so if I rent somebody's points, like, am I treated differently? Like,
just gonna say
when I
that
check
too, when I
in,
check
like,
in, yeah.
are they like, oh, you rented points. Like, no.
Are you on a list of some kind? No,
you're treated differently whatsoever. Because again, when you're a Disney Vacation Club member, anybody could use your points. So if I want to make a reservation for a friend or a family member, I just go online and I book it and send them, and they check in like normal. They still get the free parking. Still get all those
We've
benefits.
all rented points and checked in, and it's the same.
I rented points from you.
You did, yes, and it's the same exact experience. The same with resale resale contract too. Is that am I on another list? Is there a different website? No, it's all Disney. It's all the same.
And where
it's a great
people get
experience.
confused, especially looking into Disney Vacation Club, is most other timeshares out there in the industry. If you're looking to have other people stay on your membership, you either get a limit of maybe one time a year, but when they do, you have to pay pretty hefty fees. It's anywhere from $100 to about $300 to let other people use your points. With DVC, you can do it as many times as you want. So if you want to bring 10 different people on different stays and you have enough points to do it, you can do it. And there's never a fee to do it. Think about that on the rental side too. You're saving that because members don't need to pay that. But also, if you're looking to join Disney Vacation Club, it's one of the huge benefits. You can really treat your friends and family without the stress.
And the team at Rental Store is just so efficient. They're so good. And they're Disney fans. They all love Disney. They love the resorts. They love the members. They love the guests. And so you do get that exceptional sort of legendary Disney-esque service at DVC Rental Store, DVC Resale Market, because everybody loves the product as well. And they rent out the points if they're not members too.
Yeah.
So they're using it.
100%.
Yeah, that's good.
So with that, should we start reading some stories?
Let's get to some storytelling.
So
Eric
again,
printed out our storybook.
I did print out the storybook. I asked my wife, Annie, when I went upstairs and I said, do we have paper for the printer? She's like, yeah, I think we have some. I'm like, I need a lot. Because we wanted to make sure to print as many of these stories as we possibly can. So again, for that $100 Disney gift card, make sure to let us know in the YouTube comments, what are you most excited about coming to Disney, coming to Universal? I promise you, if you're not ready to tell us what you're excited about, you will be after we get through some of these stories. So we really have no rhyme or pattern to these whatsoever.
No.
I made the font nice and big so
Thank you.
people can't complain to me. I have my reading glasses on, so I'm ready to go. So
As long as they
And
don't
I have my
fog up.
magnifying glass, so I'm ready to go.
So I'm just going to do this. I'm going to hand you some here, and I'm going to hand you some.
All right.
Here.
That sounds great to
And I
me.
thought maybe we just take turns and
Let's
just
do
read
it.
it so y'all get different voices,
I love it.
different emotion. And again, this is all because of you. So thank you guys for giving us show number 40 based on these fantastic responses from last month. You want me to start?
Story time with World of DVC.
Story time.
Here
with
we
World
go.
We need like a theme entrance
know.
song or something.
Yeah, Jeff, can you add like a
Yeah,
story
work on
time, like a dreamy music, like right now?
As you add your own. So you don't even give Jeff a chance.
Never mind, Jeff. We got it covered with Derek. All right.
He's still on France time. So here, I'm going to start, and I'm not going to read everybody's screen names just because I think sometimes it might get a little
Can we zoom in on your glasses
confusing.
again?
Are they steaming? It's hot in here.
They are steamy.
No, they're getting foggy. It always happens every show I do because it gets hot in here.
It is warm in here.
Yeah, but I got it. Don't worry.
All right. I just worry about you.
Yeah. So I'm not having an episode or anything. It's okay. All right. So I'm going to read this one too. I'm going to start with, I took the jump a few months after losing my mom. I lost my dad the year before, shared some great memories of my mom at Disney, and remember taking her to Ohana for breakfast on one of our last trips, and she said she wished she could stay at the Polynesian someday. I looked into pricing back then and could never afford to stay there. After they passed, I realized I had really wanted to purchase DVC, which was always a dream, and that is when you just really feel like life is short. And I wanted to experience that for myself, my family, my kids, and we purchased our home resort, of course, the Polynesian, from the DVC Resale Market. I couldn't be happier with my decision. Just took our third trip owning, and it is just everything. Just wish I could have taken the plunge when my mom was still there so I could have made her dreams come true. But it is because of her and my dad that mine did.
I love that. Beautiful.
Oh, you started with a
I
chat.
know.
Oh my gosh, I
Look
know
at
me
her.
too.
Yeah.
Look, I'm not even kidding. Full-fledged goosebumps.
Wow.
So thank you,
Beautiful
Aaron.
story.
That was
Yeah,
a beautiful story.
yeah. All right, I'll jump in. It was several small moments over the course of a year that finally added up for me. I took my then 6-year-old son to Alani, and he said it was the most beautiful place he had ever visited. And I began to seriously look at DVC. 10 months later, I took him to Walt Disney World for the first time, and we had a very peaceful dinner at a sunset one evening at Riviera. I snapped a photo of him as he sighed and said, "Mom, this is the life. Thank you for working so hard to bring me here." It was the most magical trip. I was 90% of the way there at that point. I wanted to keep providing him with these moments of joy and family connections. A month later, I needed to fly to Florida for a surgery, as the #1 surgeon for my conditions are in Tampa. I chose to recover over several nights at Saratoga Springs. Unfortunately, the surgery was not successful. As I was processing my disappointment and fear of yet another surgery, I spent quite a bit of time healing on the balcony, overlooking the grounds of Saratoga Springs. I had a moment where it hit me. Life is way too short and goes by in a flash. Don't waste another moment overthinking the finances or what ifs about DVC. I had done all of that in spades. The most important thing in the world to me is memories and my family. I was in and had a Bay Lake Tower resale contract within a month, and a Riviera Direct contract bought 2 months after that.
Wow.
There's that theme too, I
Yeah.
think, of like life is
Life is
short.
short.
And I know last episode too, Owen was able to rattle off
Yeah.
that break even, and we talked the logical side and also the emotional side. He really hit on kind of both things. But I think what we hear so many times with people is that side of, regardless of the numbers, if you take a minute and say, these are those moments. And I'm choking up
Yeah.
when
Yeah.
she's talking about her son, and I
Yeah.
think about my son,
Yeah.
and those moments we have.
Yep.
And it goes by so fast.
does.
And those times where you can just sit on a
Yeah.
Disney balcony and watch the fireworks
Yeah.
together, you just can't make those
You
memories.
can't. There's nothing better for me having the bungalow for my birthday.
Yeah. Nope,
I'll go back
right.
to that again. And just to be able to see my parents sitting on the balcony with, drinks in hand with all my friends, eating good food, you guys, and just seeing that and having people say, "How many points did you have to spend for that?" It didn't matter.
Yeah.
None of that mattered in that moment. And every day I look back at those pictures and that's the heart. And that's why I purchased it. That's why I love Disney so much, is I'm about the emotion and the heart of it. So I'm going to flip the script on everybody, and I'm going to go to finances, because that's what this lady's talking about here.
Good, because
So-
I can't emotionally handle it.
Yeah,
know,
exactly, exactly. But it's true. Life is short. But also, this wonderful member says, being from California, we'd been to Disneyland countless times, but after our first trip to Disney World, I was hooked. My husband, not so much. We hear that from time to time. After our second trip in staying at moderates, both times I did the math and realized we could stay at deluxe resorts for the same or less, and jumped right in with the villas at the Grand Floridian. Lady after my own heart, because that's my home resort too. Sight unseen, unless the view from the monorail counts. So love that. She's absolutely right. You're going from moderates, which are beautiful, but
Yeah.
why
Yeah.
not stay where the monorail is and at the beautiful Grand Floridian right there? So the math made sense to her.
This one I love because it's from our good friend Becky Wells, who joined a couple of years ago. And she said, once my husband realized we could do our laundry while we were at the parks from our room, instead of having to try to stay awake after rope drop to close and then wash everything for all 7 members of our family, I got him.
Wow.
Laundry, yeah.
That is
Laundry.
laundry.
It's the little things in life.
It's the little things. Drying out those bathing suits, you don't have to wait long. Yes, go ahead, Marissa.
All right, this one is, our DVC tipping point happened after a couple of different DVC experiences. We started off with a surprise upgrade to a 1-bedroom at Saratoga. We fell in love, but we could not afford the experience of buying direct. We later discovered that we could try before you buy and booked a stay at the Polynesian. We had a fantastic time, but a family of 5 stuffed into a studio room was not the best experience. You've done that. Our hearts were sold when we booked our stay at Old Key West. I had just graduated with my master's in theology, and to celebrate, my wife booked this trip to get away. We loved every moment of our Old Key West DVC vacation. We waited and saved, and when I was hired as a bivocational pastor, we started praying into the decision. Lo and behold, the Rover Monster had fallen asleep, and we were in the perfect position to buy in. We chose our beloved Old Key West, And that river monster was asleep on Old Key West for like a minute. So way to jump on that. And we've been enjoying vacations ever since. The price and the room and the location stole our hearts.
Oh, love that.
Love that.
Yeah. This wonderful member says, the kicker for me was I could not imagine not ever coming back to Disney. We were just saying that. I'm always singing the praises of DVC Resale Market and how Resale Market made that dream come true for me. So thank you for that.
See, I like this one because it's very fun to me. They wrote and said, what made me make the jump was the look on my wife's face when we went back to Walt Disney World for our 25th wedding anniversary last year. It was the first time we had been back since our honeymoon in 1997. And you know what? After years of working, it's time to relax, be a member, and just enjoy life.
Love that.
I love
that. Yep.
This one says the tipping point was financial. Living in Indianapolis, which half of our team lives in Indy, so we feel ya. We planned our Disney trips very far out, and we're spending a good amount of money on moderate resorts. Once I learned about DVC, it made sense to put that yearly money into a membership. We only vacation at Disney, so it made total sense. Best decision ever made.
See?
I love that.
What do you got, Carrie?
I have this one. I love this one. Love the show this week. Thank you. We love to hear from more DVC kids. We actually were nudged into DVC when the resale market dipped during the pandemic when we got our first contract at a really good price.
That's when I
and
bought.
now we just bought contract number 3 from the DVC Resale Market and just got home from Aulani.
Nice.
Love it.
I've heard from a lot of people that literally will buy this after they go to Aulani, like just paying cash
regular.
for it.
Yes.
Well, because I think 2 trips to Aulani, you break even.
You do.
Like Disney
Right.
World, it might
Telling
take
you.
3 or 4, but Aulani, you break even in 2 trips.
I know.
So this one I like because it's for all of our friends out there on the West Coast, because it's kind of a West Coast DVC story. It says, our DVC tipping point was as follows. We were Disneyland goers for years. We stayed just across the streets because Disneyland on property could never be justified. We had debated DVC for years, but with the villas of the Grand Californian never really available for a direct purchase, we just couldn't make it make sense. Fast forward to COVID, and that rough time we stayed across the street one more time with 2 small kids, and it was, all in caps, terrible. Photos didn't match the room, etc. We came home defeated, and we needed a vacation following our vacation. I looked at hotel prices for Disneyland resorts and was able to snag a room for $350 on our next trip. Unheard of. So, of course, we booked it, got hooked of staying on property, and debated again. But to our surprise, when we went to go book it again, that $350 room was now $550. I realized that DVC might be the only investment on earth where you could honestly beat inflation. That night, I downloaded the DVC Resale app, and the rest is history. We snagged a Grand Cal resale contract for an amazing price and have been enjoying Disneyland vacations since 2021. We also bought Disneyland DVC Direct, but we'll be back to the resale market when the kids get a little older to buy for some Walt Disney World resorts. I wish I could get those prices for the West Coast. I can't imagine any other way to vacation now.
Love it.
Love that. Love it.
All right, this one says, after years of staying off property with extended family, there's another off property family, for our Disney World vacations, my wife, kids, and I did a trip to just the 4 of us at the Polynesian on cash. The pool, the late night arcade, the monorail to Magic Kingdom. It was all too great to ever consider staying off property again. And DVC provided that opportunity to more economical stays on property for years to come. Here we are, 13 years later, kids in college, and they love staying at DVC and bringing their friends. I feel like you need to meet them. They sound like your family.
They had me at arcades.
Exactly. Polynesian, arcades, family of 4.
Family friends coming. This is from our friend Mary. And she says, Owen is an extremely personable, articulate young man, Derek. You and Annie can be so very proud of him. Another amazing magical show. She also gives me a shout out. Thank you, and says that Carrie deserves every magical moment for her special birthday celebration in the Poly Bungalows. Thank you, Mary. It was magical. She said, I rented DVC points for several years, thinking that with the direct DVC prices, there was no way I could afford buying. Then I learned about the resale market, and the rest, as they say, is history.
Okay, I like this one. Again, they're all great, but I like this one because they're not quite members yet. So they're what we call future Vacation Club members. It says that I'll start with the caveat that we're not quite members. We're still saving up after a big home renovation that took priority. Our tipping point to join was honestly a combo of sticker shock of paying cash for a 1-bedroom at Bay Lake to meet our family of 4 plus a guest to have done the trip. And we want to join because we want to look forward to what we can do in future vacations with our children. We are looking forward to joining as soon as it is financially responsible for us to do so. And we have absolute faith that we will be able to say welcome home to you.
Love that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Love that.
All right, this one says, my wife and I visit Walt Disney World every year since we've been together, and we've always dreamed of being able to stay at the Grand Floridian or the Polynesian. A friend of my wife told us about the DVC Resale Market, and we couldn't believe that it was something that we could actually afford. This past January, we bought 2 resale contracts, one at the Grand Floridian and one at Saratoga Springs. We had our welcome home trip last month and did a split stay at the Grand Floridian and the Polynesian.
Nice.
Awesome. 6 months of daydreaming about staying at those resorts. We couldn't believe we actually would be staying there. The best part is we are expecting our first child later this year.
yay.
We are excited for our baby to grow up as a DVC member from birth.
That's wonderful.
yeah.
Congratulations. That's exciting.
And then all of a sudden they're going to be going back to college. All right. Happy place.
I love this one because I've heard this a time or two. I think we all have. Seeing a giraffe outside my hotel balcony simply sealed the deal. I want to make sure that I can experience that over and over again. So Animal Kingdom Lodge became our first home resort within a week of returning from our trip.
Oh,
Yeah.
see?
Where else can you see a giraffe?
Yeah.
You can't.
I like this one because it's direct, it's simple, it's to the point, and it's a no-brainer. Ready? They say, we were going to spend $12,000 to stay at the Grand for 10 days, and I just said we should buy resale and stay there for 40 years. That's what we did.
I love it when it's simple
That's
and
great.
easy, right? Just, yeah.
That's it.
Don't make it hard. Love it.
This one made me laugh too because we've had a very similar situation in our family. So it says our first trip to Vera was a big family trip, and we had a beach cottage and an in-room for 15 people. Our next trip was just an in-room, and our 5-year-old wanted to know why we weren't staying in the big houses. This is forever my situation because I go from like blowing our points
Right.
to like regular room, and my son will be like, what do you mean we're not staying in the Copper Creek cabin? Like, we don't have enough points to do that every year, bud.
That's so good.
Where's the fireworks view in the balcony with the
Yeah,
pool in
right.
it? So this is beautiful. So this member says, I had been dreaming about DVC and learning about the resale market since 2020. I then suddenly lost my dad at age 62 in February 2021, and then suddenly lost my mom 9 months later in November 2021. Also at age 62. My parents didn't have much. We grew up very modestly, and after they passed, I received a very small amount of money. I knew that I didn't want that money to be spent on everyday expenses. I knew I wanted it to go to something special that would remind me of my mom and dad. Something that would be the last gift from them that I otherwise wouldn't have had. I decided to put it towards a small resale DVC contract. My parents were able to take us to Disney one time as kids, and it was the most magical trip. I've only been able to use my DVC contract for one trip so far, but I felt their presence with me the whole time. I'm so glad I can take my kids each year, and my parents can still be a part of it. If it weren't for them, this wouldn't be possible. I wish things were different and they were here in person, but since they can't be, I feel this is a nice way to honor them every year.
Oh, my God.
Beautiful.
Beautiful.
Wow.
Beautiful. This one here, love as well. It says, let me find it right here. Here it goes. I've been wanting to buy DVC since Animal Kingdom was available, but it was never financially the right time. I took my husband for the first time in 2015 to Polly. What is it with Polly? And he fell in love. Backstory is my mom took me and my brother as kids in 1990, so Polly is very sentimental to me. Once I got my husband hooked, he was ready to sign. We started with Saratoga because of the dues and recently added on with Old Key West. Love, love, love 3 times. Disney Vacation Club.
This one says, we purchased in 2023. I always wanted my own DVC contract. I grew up as a DVC kid, but hadn't pulled the trigger yet. Then two things happened. First, my dad suddenly passed away. So I was thrown into a tailspin of nostalgia, going through photos of our trips over the years, remembering his favorite rides and foods, etc. Second, I finally got my husband and kids out to Disneyland, where my husband fell in love with the original park and Disney's California Adventure. Nostalgia on my end, plus a newfound love of Disneyland and a desire to have the best chance possible of securing a room while we were out there led us to 250 points at the villas at the Disneyland Hotel. Now, I'm just trying to convince him to let me buy some Walt Disney World points, too.
Love it.
That's awesome.
This past May was our 9th trip to Disney in the last 17 years. We were thinking this would be our last for a while, and then when we returned home to Canada, we realized, who are we kidding? We had the best time with our kids aged 24 and 26. She's in great company. We wanted to build more memories with hopefully grandkids one day and took the plunge. We bought Animal Kingdom, our favorite resort, through DVC Resale Market, and just received the ROFR waiver this week. Congratulations! That's exciting. Now, at the ages of 55 and 56, we are just so excited, and we can't wait to get the closure on the contract and start planning. Love your channel. We are learning so much. Thank you so much for that.
I love that. This might sound familiar, Marissa. She says, my aunt bought Disney Vacation Club.
Did you write that, my sister?
And she always kept sharing points with Marissa. Here. She says, my aunt bought DVC in 1995. I was 7 years old. Went for the first time when I was 8. I'm now 36 and have never known different and have never set foot on a value resort until 4 years ago. And now my aunt is teaching me the ropes of Disney Vacation Club.
I love it.
That's awesome. I love that.
This one says, thank
Smart
you for
aunt.
such a great show. Our kids 6 and 4 and a new DVC member, and it was so great to hear from Owen. We bought in because we love vacationing at Disney, and while sitting by the pool at
The Polynesian.
Polynesian.
Alani, watching our kids enjoy every minute, we knew it was something we had to do.
Alani will get you too.
Yeah, well, it's the value there.
No.
I will snag a few more from you.
Yeah,
though. You've got
exactly,
some
'cause I
extra
have, like, a
pages.
book here.
Yeah, Derek gave you half the story.
I do. Yeah, it's true. Okay.
She's
so,
an ambassador. I had to.
Yeah, I make him do that. I love this one. So because this is a vision. We talked earlier about vision and innovation and kind of coming true. And so this wonderful member says, I went to Disney World one time as a child. I was 8 years old. It was the best week. I watched Tinkerbell fly during the fireworks show and vowed to myself in that moment that when I was older and had a family of my own, I would find a way to take my family to Disney World every year. My husband and I welcomed our first child this past December, and after years of saving, became Disney Vacation Club members at the Polynesian Resort. Our family will be welcomed home for the first time this December for our daughter's first birthday. Dreams
gosh.
come true if you work for them and believe. Oh my gosh.
These are just
so many exciting moments
This
in
is
that.
why we had to read these
I
out
know,
loud
they're
because
beautiful.
you could take the time and read them, but like I feel like you have to just do
Yeah.
a whole show dedicated to
gosh,
this. They're
That's
so
what we
good.
said.
Yeah.
That's
They're
what we
so
said.
good.
We literally were like, we have to do a whole show. These are too good just to be on
Yeah.
a YouTube comment page.
Yes.
It's
like,
true.
we need everybody
It's
to
true.
hear these. So
Beautiful.
this one made me smile, and you'll see why, Marissa. It says, so we purchased DVC when my son was 3, and he's now 25. My husband passed away 7 years into the membership. Those 7 years of memories are worth every penny we spent and still spend on Disney Vacation Club. We were taking 2 or 3 trips a year, at least at the time, and I know a lot of the memories as well as photos my son has with his dad are from Disney. Best decision ever. And we still have a pile of arcade cards.
And still go.
And we still go to the arcades every single trip. Don't lose those arcade cards and
fun.
those memories. That's awesome.
I think I have a nice chunk of arcade cards that I need to go through. My daughter went off to college in California and wanted to purchase an annual pass. You know what's so funny? When I went to college in Southern California, the first thing my parents did for me as a gift was an annual pass to Disneyland.
Oh, that's
Oh,
nice.
really?
Yeah, that was like my gift of going off to college.
Nice.
And I said, okay. And I wasn't thinking that maybe I would need one too. So her first year of college, we went before she started and had seen a DVC cast member. We said no because we didn't want to take the time and it had only so many days that summer. Then summer came around again and I had come up to help her move out. So we went to Disney before going home. Again, we said no thank you. And one day my daughter said, "What is a timeshare?" Because she had been here but didn't know what it was. So one day at the mall, the DVC cast member asked if we would like to learn about Disney Vacation Club. So we said okay. And we went to hear about DVC and thinking to ourselves, we will not be able to purchase because this is out of reach. I was shocked that we could purchase and it wasn't like Hilton or Marriott. So in 2011, I think the only other DVC resort was Disney's Animal Kingdom. But we were not going to Florida from Hawaii. That's a long trip. If it was California, then we would have to think which one, because Alani we can go to anytime as long as it was open. And it would feel like a vacation, not in Waikiki. So yes, it was my daughter who made me purchase DVC, and it would save us money for paying for hotel stays.
Love it.
I love that. All from what's a timeshare?
Right.
The curiosity of kids. Yes. This has a ring of familiarity to you, Derek. So this wonderful member says, we purchased direct on our honeymoon.
Oh.
Did you purchase on your honeymoon?
It was after the honeymoon.
Oh, after. Well, then
Yeah.
never mind. Okay. It was my third or fourth trip and my wife's first. It was both our first time staying on property, which happened to be a one-bedroom preferred view at Saratoga. It was my wife's first vacation in close to 5 years, and we decided we didn't want that to happen again. I feel like we need confetti cannons for this next sentence. Now we are 10 years in, paid off, and have 40 more years of vacations ahead of us with now an 8 and a 5-year-old. So happy we did it and started to get that itch. Oh, and starting to get that itch to add on. Ha ha ha. Yes, well, add-on-itis, like we said, is a real thing. But yeah, 40 more years being paid off. That's exciting. We do. Jeff, confetti cannons comes soon. Yeah, that'd be great.
He's got a massive
Dreaming
to-do
music,
list.
confetti cannons.
He came from Paris. He's got all kinds of tricks now.
This one is from a great viewer, Jarrett, who I was lucky enough to see, and we had breakfast or lunch over at Old Key West a couple of months ago.
That's
so,
nice.
Jarrett, what's up? He says, "Hey, I wish my story was more exciting." It's a great story, Jarrett. So, my in-laws bought back in the 90s. My future wife and I used to book under their points every single time. After our daughter was born, we stayed at Saratoga and decided to walk into the show center there to, feel things out. She was treated like a true kid, got the toys, got the snacks, and had a blast while we had the talk and the tour. The talk. I love it. We kind of always had it in our mind that we would keep going for her, and we walked out owning Copper Creek, which is still my favorite. A few years later, we were thinking of buying a condo to rent by Epcot. At the last minute, we strolled back into Saratoga and used our condo money to buy Riviera. Good thing we did, because the pandemic hit that spring and we would have lost our shirts with an empty condo sitting around Disney.
Yeah.
Since then, we have merged accounts with our in-laws. We now have 9 total contracts and 2 add-ons, including ones that Derek helped with. Thanks so much,
wonderful.
guys.
That's awesome.
That's
is.
awesome.
This family said, we rented DVC points for a few years and were completely spoiled by 2-bedroom villas. That'll do it.
Yep.
When it was a year of milestone birthdays, I had decided to splurge for an out-of-pocket stay for a 2-bedroom at Riviera. That'll really do it. We then thought, for the amount of money, we could really look into buying Disney Vacation Club. We did, and we purchased our first contract. We have had since added on and often think about more. We have loved our Disney Vacation Club stays with our kids and grandkids and always look forward to the next one. So fun.
That's probably the best part about it, is
Yeah.
the next one's coming.
Yeah.
So, the trips themselves are awesome.
Yep.
Don't get me wrong, but it's always,
Always has something
and
to
that's what I
look
hate
forward to.
about me now, because when I log in to the site, it says future trips. It's got nothing. Got a donut. 'Cause
Don't
October
be
1st.
like Derek.
Don't hate yourself,
Just be like
Derek.
your
Just
points.
book a trip, for goodness sakes.
Cheapo
Dramatic.
Derek. Cheapo
Exactly. All right. This wonderful member says, we stayed in a 2-bedroom at Old Key West and knew there was no going back. That's a theme also.
Yeah.
DVC felt out of reach due to expense, but then I found the DVC Resale Market on the DVC Fan Show, and there was no looking back. Thanks for saving us thousands. And that we do.
It's a good
Thank
one.
you.
This one's big too. We hear it all the time. They say a bunch of tipping points for us occurred right near to each other. age milestones for us parents, high school and college graduation for our kids, and just the realization that Disney Vacation Club was going to make going on vacation with our adult kids and future grandkids so much more fun.
And it's funny because I remember, I think we get this question more selling when we sold direct, but so many people with young kids would be like, but yeah, what if they get older?
Right.
Oh.
And now on the resale side, that's when most families add on because
so
they're
true.
like, we are always coming
Yeah.
back and now we need to provide for the next generation and those grandkids.
Yes.
This one is great. This is the one you were talking about, Carrie. The moment Owen starts explaining break even and seeing Derek and Carrie's reaction. LOL, so good.
Love it.
My tipping point, this is exactly what we've been talking about. My tipping point was paying rack rate at Alani for a 2-bedroom ocean view for 5 nights. That'll do it.
No.
In December, in low season, that booking was over $8,000. Plus, seeing my 2-year-old son absolutely loving the resort put me down the road of researching what this DVC thing was all about. Putting pen to paper and doing the numbers, I remember walking over to my wife and interrupting her evening reading, saying, "So, Disney Vacation Club thing. I really want to do it." She reacted like I was telling her I wanted to join Club 33 and thought I was absolutely insane. She thought there was absolutely no way we could ever afford that, especially before only having a surface level understanding of what DVC was, which I think is sometimes the problem is they hear just the number when they walk to the kiosk of $30,000. We were the people. Oh, okay. Well, he just reiterated that. We were the people that used to walk by the DVC booth in the park and laugh, thinking only the super rich could buy this $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 and up Disney product. Now we laugh at our past selves. And you created a laugh for us, too. Great moments.
That's great.
Wonderful. Love this one. This member says, we are currently making the jump into DVC via resale market through Derek at DVC Resale Market. My wife and I have been talking about it for 3 going on 4 years. We took our oldest when he was 3 years old, and the magic of Disney is all that we remember from the trip. We've been back multiple times since that 2020 excursion and decided to jump into DVC as a more economical way to stay at different resorts, plus have the space. We are a family of 5, and our room options for the way we like to travel were really limited to the suites at the Art of Animation, which are fantastic. With DVC, we are able to stay at a wider variety of resorts and room types, plus stay in rooms that otherwise seemed impractical to stay at, even at general DVC rental store prices. The biggest tipping point for us is having these points make us, I love this line, pause life and plan a vacation. Yes. We have found with our family that if we don't plan it, it doesn't happen. With DVC, we have to plan it. And why not plan for the magic? We chose Boulder Ridge as our dive-in home as it fits our lifestyle, theming, plus the 2042 exit date aligns with when the kids are out of the house. Maybe my wife and I will experience multiple bouts of add-on-itis. You will, between now and then. But if we don't, we've locked up great vacations every year for our children's early years, making memories, relaxing, and going home. I love that. Yeah. Pausing.
Perfect,
life.
Brad.
Yeah,
Perfect.
thank you, Brad. I love that. Yeah. I remember when my parents first took us to Disney, too, and my dad made a comment. And, this is back in the early 90s. And he was like, I don't even know what day it is. There's no newspaper. I have no idea what's going on in the world. And I kind of like it.
Yeah.
I kind of like it, right? And it was like, you paused life for a time. And now
In the bubble.
And DVC really can bring you back to that because, to your point, Derek, you're coming back.
Yep.
So you're sitting at the pool, you're in line at Space Mountain, you're, enjoying your dinner, and you're going, when are we coming back? What's the quick weekend we're going to make down here? When do we come back?
And you are
do a
coming
holiday
back, so
time.
you're not
You
on
are.
your phone trying to say, we need this right,
No.
this right, this right, this right.
No.
You go, hey, let's
We can
just
do it next time.
enjoy it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes
so
such a
true.
difference.
So true. In fact, here's a little tidbit. Every time that we come, and we live, 25 minutes away. Anytime we come onto Disney property, we have a tradition that we always do in our car when you pass under the gates, right, that say, welcome to Walt Disney World, whether you're on World Drive or whether you're going to Disney Springs, whenever we do it, my wife always says, okay, everybody, blow out your troubles. So every time, we literally still do it. The kids are like, oh my God, Mom. But every time it's always blow out your troubles. And as we pass under, we go, and we blow it out. Because whether it's for a night or whether it's even for just a few hours, in the bubble is like the real world is gone.
That's awesome.
That's great. I love that.
This one, I love this one. I think it's my last one I have, so I love it. It's the tipping point for me was staying in a theme park view room at the Polynesian through the DVC rental store. We decided to try out the Grand Floridian and Polynesian before committing to DVC and just walked into the room with a view of the bungalows, the ferry, and the castle was like nothing else. We can't believe we get to call this place home and come back year after year after year.
Love that.
I have two more, so I'll go through them real quick. But this
I
one
have
was
just one more, yeah.
Oh, perfect.
Yep.
We purchased DVC in 2015 after suddenly losing my mother-in-law. We had a trip planned while we were there, and we purchased it. We decided that life is too short, and we needed to make memories as a family. My son was, I believe, 6 at the time. Like your son, Derek, DVC is really all he knows. We love not having to rush around, and we enjoy being at the resort.
That's what it's about.
That's the theme, right? Life is too short, and just
it is.
like blow out your troubles.
Yep.
What moments can you do that? Where can you
Yep.
do that in life?
Yep.
Well, I think
Pause life.
too that
Yeah.
I think it's important with that last story too is that not one of these stories that we've read has said, you know what we love about it is we love riding this ride.
Right.
Or we love riding that ride.
Right.
Every single memory that everybody's sharing is
Yeah.
about so much more than the attractions
Yeah.
themselves.
Yeah.
It's about being in the pools and being in the arcades and spending time,
Time with your
as a
family.
family. That's
Yeah.
what's cool to me.
I'll wrap it up with this little short story. And she said, "What an amazing show." Thank you for that. "We decided to buy DVC when we wanted to come to Disney every year and wanted to stay deluxe. Thanks for sharing."
See?
Perfect.
I have
So
one
good.
more before
Yeah.
we finish off. We purchased DVC in 2009, and it was because we love everything about Disney. I was there the day it opened and have loved it ever since. At the time, my kids were 5 and 2.5. Their dad and I felt we would be coming a lot as their grandma lived in Hilton Head, and we would drive down to see them. Fast forward to 2011. We separated, I purchased the contract, and the kids and I have been coming about twice a year ever since. We have 130 points and enjoy the studios as well as 1 bedrooms. My kids are now 20 and 18. And when I asked them if we should sell it, they both said, absolutely not. We love everything Disney and all of our memories are there. Our favorite is when we celebrated Christmas in a 1-bedroom. We bought a small Christmas tree and decorated it. I would leave a small gift under the tree the night before for them to open in the morning. On one of those days, there we made Christmas cookies and decorated them. We gave some to the cast members and the bus drivers as we visited the parks. We have so many wonderful memories at Disney and look forward to many more. Our contracts have since been paid off, and we now only spend the yearly fee to stay at the resorts 4 to 7 days/nights. Best purchase ever.
Love it.
Thank you, Owen, for bringing back the fond memories with my kids. We are headed back home in 3 days and cannot wait.
I love that.
Oh, that's so great.
It's so great. I went to Epcot yesterday. Marissa teased me earlier, and she was like, "Are you at Epcot again?" Yes, love Epcot. It's just relaxing, right?
Yeah.
But walking in, we had lunch at Ale and Compass, and then walked into International Gateway. And so when you go through as a DVC member, it lights up.
Yep.
Purple
Welcome
and
home.
purple and green, and Mickey says, "Welcome home." Well, the cast member was training at the turnstile, and she hadn't seen that yet. And so when I did that, I'm so used to it, but I stand and wait for it because I get excited and just to see if anyone else is excited with me. And usually not.
you would,
But
Carrie.
every now and then somebody says,
Did you
"Oh,
see that?
Did you see my magic?
yeah."
See that?
Well, it's funny. Other DVC members will go, "Mine did that too." I'm like, "I know, right?" And so the cast member said, "Why did hers light up different?" And she said, "She's a DVC member." And I said, "Yes." And she said, "Oh, wow." Yes, excuse us. So it was just so exciting. It's such a great membership to be part of. It's I hate to say it's a club, but it is a club in a way. It's a community.
Yeah.
It's a community of people like-minded who understand when you're sitting at home and going, "Yeah, we're going to Disney for the 7th time this year,"
Yeah.
and your neighbors go, "Again?" We get it.
Yeah.
Whether you're a couple, a single person with children, grown children, grandparents, it doesn't matter.
No.
It's literally for everybody, and we love it because we use it, all the time.
Too often.
Maybe so.
But it takes the stress out of where do
does.
we go next, right? And we're here, we're local, so our use of DVC
Yep.
is a little bit different than others who
Right.
maybe take that big trip. But what I love about it is we might do our other vacations here and there, but the stress is totally removed with our
Right.
DVC points because we go, hey, let's just decompress and do a
Yeah.
weekend. And we can do that.
do
And we
that.
don't think about the cost. We don't need to save up. It doesn't have to be
Yeah.
that one vacation.
Yes.
It's just that time where you just blow
Yeah.
out what?
Troubles.
Blow out your troubles.
Blow out your
Yeah,
troubles.
exactly.
Yeah, you know you'll be back. And for all the great D23 things that are coming,
Yep.
and even just the nostalgic things that you just love to do and kind of have that tradition, you just can't go wrong with it. Yeah.
No, this was great.
It was
Yeah.
so great. Thank you
Great
all
tie-in,
for
yeah.
Yes.
all
Thank
of your
you.
comments. This made the show so special, and you can tell we had goosebumps and tears the entire time.
Holding
We
back
did.
some tears here, definitely. Yeah, thank you all so much for just the words, and I know for Derek and I, Marissa, I know you still chat with some of the some people from DVC Resale Market to be able to talk to you and help you find the points, find the perfect contract. It's such a thrill for all of us, and then to read your stories, it touches us just as much. So thank you for all of that.
It's just a reminder of what a great community that
Yeah.
this is. That I know this is show number 40. We've now in a second studio. We've done 40 shows over the span of how many trillions
We've been
of
on
years?
location a couple of times.
But the whole point is we wouldn't be here in this beautiful new studio. We wouldn't be able to do the show if
Yeah.
it wasn't for each and every one of you. So you guys are the absolute best community. So we cannot thank you enough when
Yeah.
y'all jump in and we know that you contribute not because you want the $100 gift card, right? It's just because you want to be part
Right.
of our community.
I believe that.
That's what's great because no one ever asked us and says, "Hey,
No.
who won that gift card?" or whatever.
Nobody
They
ever
don't
does.
care. And the fact that you guys wrote these mini stories and almost mini novels and so great and witty and compassionate and everything else. So we truly thank you. So
Yeah.
thank you guys so much. This was episode 40 and probably one of my favorites. So
Yeah. Thank you for 40 episodes too.
Yeah.
you're welcome. Thank you. And thank you, Marissa, for getting this beautiful new
You got
studio.
it.
Thank you, Jeff, for coming back from
Patty,
France.
even though you didn't bring us anything, that's okay.
Wearing 6 gold medals around his neck right now, right on the floor. Thank you all. We cannot wait to see you next month for everybody heading back to school. Have a
Yeah,
great
yeah.
and amazing
Have a great year.
school year. Thank you for everything. And
One last thing
thing to do.
Oh,
yeah.
Long-standing
Jumping into it.
tradition. First time in this new studio.
All right.
Is we'll see you real soon. Ha, ha, boy, this place is nice.
It starts with a spark.